Okay, thanks a lot. Bye-bye. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
One is welcome. They offer free appraisals and have great prices on all types of firearms, modern, military, and antique. They have over 450 tables with cash buyers on site for your used guns. Visit arhsportshop.com or you could give them a call at 724-948-3571 for more information. That's 724-948-3571 for more information. It's the Washington County Gun Show, presented by ARH Sports Shop, June 19th and 20th.
Summer starts here at your Toyota dealer. So come in and save big on the car, truck, or SUV you need. Like a gas model RAV with up to $1,250 cash back. Or a Camry with up to $1,750 cash back. Or go with a Corolla and take up to $2,000 cash back. Visit buyatoyota.com for more great offers, to check out local inventory, and to find a dealer near you. You can take cash back or apply toward down payment. Offers vary for hybrid models. See your dealer for details. Offers end June 1st. Toyota. Let's go places. Summer starts here at your Toyota dealer, but where it goes is up to you. So come in and save big on the car, truck, or SUV you need to take on anything the season has in store, like a spacious Highlander or an all-wheel drive Venza hybrid, both with up to $750 cash back. Visit buyatoyota.com for more great offers, to check out local inventory, and to find a dealer near you. You can take cash back or apply toward down payment. See your dealer for details. Offers end June 1st. Toyota. Let's go places.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm the Storm Tracker Darnell Foster with a look at your local weather forecast for your Friday. Partly to mostly sunny skies, a daytime high near 88. Overnight low of 58 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Sunshine and clouds mixing for your Saturday with highs in the mid to upper 80s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe and Brad Leonard behind the board in the producer's chair.
Well, a beautiful morning this morning once again. 66 degrees at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport, 65 here at my home studio, 64 at the Robinson Auto Group Studios, downtown Wheeling, in the heart of the Ohio Valley. It's going to be clear and it is clear and sunny outside right now. Beautiful morning. I've said this several days in a row. I was thinking about packing up the equipment here, moving it out to the deck and broadcasting from the deck. And then I opened the door and somebody's cutting trees down outside or something. So the sound of chainsaws in the background, I figured probably wouldn't be the most conducive to doing the radio show. So, but at least I got the window open or the door open. I could look out the window and see the sunshine. It's looking like great today. Going to be 86 before the day is over and done with. Going to be another pit dripper. It's going to be continuing this range of super heat that we've had, unseasonably hot weather. Sunshine, blue skies, not much rain. No rain actually in the forecast at all for today. Rain eventually coming along probably on Sunday and into next week. And we continue the 80s, the 80-degree temperatures into next week. It's 8:12 here on the Watchdog Morning Show. Coming up in a few minutes, we'll talk with Brad McElhaney, kind of catch up on some of the stories we haven't had a chance to talk to Brad about in the past week or so. Always like to keep in touch with Brad. A couple of things happening down in Charleston and around the state that I think are important for us to talk about. And next hour, we'll kind of update you on the local news when newspaper editor John McCabe and I do kind of the same thing. So Friday's sort of our catch-up day, and we'll get into all of that in a bit. Is Brad with me yet? Biffy? I guess no Brad yet?
We got him. I just got him on hold.
Got him on the line right now. So let's go to Brad McElhaney from Metro News. Good morning, Brad.
Hey, sorry, I had to hit the major topics of the day, which was breakfast, always when I call, and how tired I am because I stayed up late on Monday night. All the big sporting events are late on Monday night, and so I was watching some Marshall soccer, and so I've sacrificed for the team, and now I'm a tired person.
I'm amazed at how many people are so anti-soccer that even when Marshall won, I see a lot of social media posts. I don't care if it's a West Virginia team or not. Soccer's a terrible sport. I don't get that. You know, I thought it was really exciting to see Marshall win.
Yeah, that last play in overtime was incredibly exciting. And, there was no scoring up to then, but it was really intense, a lot of defense. Marshall dominated the crowd. So it was, it was good to see and action-packed. So I enjoyed it, but I'm suffering a bit today.
Now, before
along with breakfast, send me some coffee.
I was going to say, before I get to the hard-hitting news, what are you having for breakfast? Because I'm kind of hungry.
I asked my daughter if she would bring some breakfast burritos from local Mexican restaurants. So I believe she is swinging by with some burritos.
I like the sound of that. That sounds good. Breakfast burrito. Biffy, what do you think? Breakfast burritos sound okay for you?
I could use a couple right now. I know that.
That would be very good. I like the sound of that. Brad, we haven't had a chance to talk for a while. We've all been busy doing some other things. I thought it'd be a good time to catch up because there are a couple of lingering stories around the state that are of concern and interest to me. First of all, listen, you're a man of age. Would you like to? I'm thinking about a class action lawsuit against the governor for age discrimination.
I have grievances. Thank you. I'm glad I'm here on talk radio to air my grievances. And yes, I wouldn't mind $100, even if it's a savings bond. Actually, the savings bond would hit me right about at retirement age, so that would be great. But also, Howard, so we have remained employed for the last year, and I don't want to disparage anyone who is unemployed, but the governor is thinking about a bonus for those who go back to work. What about bonuses for people who stayed at work?
Who never left to be? That's a great point. That's
what about
an excellent point.
People who never left.
That is a truly excellent point.
I have a lot of grievances. I really need that burrito because my grievances are adding up.
Food often mediates the need to vent. I know, I understand that. No, I went online yesterday because Channel 7, their headline on the story about the governor was, "Click here for your $100 from Governor Justice." So, for heaven's sakes, I want to do that. And I clicked that button, and I got to the page and fill out the application and a couple of more. And then I said, wait a minute, it says, was it 16 to 35 or 18? I forget what it is, but the cutoff is 35. Wait a minute. Over in Ohio, Governor DeWine, if you are a resident of the state and have been vaccinated, you're in for the $5 million drawings. How come you're going to be? I mean, I'm telling you, it's age discrimination.
So first of all, how would it be very hard for you to move to Ohio, just quickly and maybe temporarily? Because you could
think of it. One of my kids lives in Ohio. I wonder if I could just use his residence temporarily.
Residence is slippery like an eel. I think you could. The governor has been trying to motivate those younger folks, people who I guess may, and I'm not disparaging them, but when you're of a certain age, you think that you are invulnerable, and so he's trying to motivate them by way of savings bond to get vaccinated and therefore cut down on the spread of coronavirus in that age bracket. But if you're 36 and above, you do think, why is the cutoff line where it is?
Why is he's calling this the 588 or something? I saw the logo. What's the 588 business all about?
588 bad. Yeah, that came
588
up for a while.
bad. That's what it says. Yeah.
Maybe it might have come up a month ago now, and everybody's kind of forgotten. But during one of these briefings, and if you've drifted away from the briefings, Kenny Bass, a reporter from WCHS Television in Charleston, asked the governor. Kenny estimated, and I don't know where the estimate came from, but there may be 40% of the population that is resistant or skeptical of getting vaccinated. And then literally on a notebook or back of the napkin, the governor estimated what 40% of the vaccine-eligible population would be. And at the time, it was 16 and above. So, you would discount the West Virginia population below age 16. Right. And then the governor applied 40% to that total population to figure out, well, what are we saying here is vaccine resistant. And the number he came up with was 588,000. And then in the midst of that, he came up with this he got on a brainstorming roll, and he came up with this motto, beat 588 bad. But so much time has passed, and so few people are continuing to watch these briefings. And, I mean, it's a little bit obscure. It's not beat 588,000 bad, it's beat 588 bad.
Beat 588, yeah.
It's it takes 10 minutes to explain. So all of a sudden now, there's this motto, and nobody knows what it is.
As you know, I spend my day watching the tweets of you and Phil Kabler and Stephen Adams, and I was watching all this yesterday, and I kept scratching my head, 588, and then you posted a picture of the logo, 588 bad. I'm going, what in the world is this? What is this? What is 588? I thought it was some kind of a secret, society or something. But, well, I guess it is. It's the secret society of the unvaccinated. But so, and the governor, bless his heart, he is just holding on to that idea of the savings bond, isn't he? I mean, he's just not going to let it go.
No, man. So if you really went to the page, I mean, you can look there, and there's like 5 steps you got to go through. You got to register with U.S. Treasury to get your savings bond. I mean, you got to navigate to another site. Whereas the gift card, which still apparently is going to take you 4 to 6 weeks for delivery, that's a fairly easy process, just registering with the state. And with the gift card, it's immediate gratification. Whereas with the bond, you've got to, you've got to allow it to mature over a period of years. There's something sort of classic about a savings bond. But if you want the immediate gratification, it is not your method of choice.
And if you want to immediately be officially registered, it's not your choice either, because as you point out, you got to go to a different site, you got to register with the Treasury Department, you got to go through some hoops just to be eligible to get that savings bond, which he will then eventually get you. So it's a little strange. And do we know is going to be a cash card? I'm sure this isn't true. I got a text from my listener said it's probably a $100 gift card to the Greenbrier. That surely isn't true.
I don't think so. Occasionally, I've received like Christmas gifts, gift cards from relatives, and sometimes they're connected with a credit union or a bank, and you've got to go online and register it with the bank, and that's provisioning. But honestly, the governor didn't really elaborate on what that gift card will be like or where it will be from. So there may be further steps with that too. The only thing he's really said about it, although he didn't say it yesterday, is he wants it to be sort of patriotically themed in some way. Yeah. So you've got buy-in and are improving the health of West Virginia and America. So that's really the only detail I've got about what this debit card is. Gift card, I guess.
Yeah, it'd be a gift card. I'm making a guess. I don't think it'll be the Greenbrier. I don't think it'll be Starbucks or something. My guess is it'll be some kind of a cash card. One of those. Yeah, you call it a debit card. We call it a debit card. It's some kind of a card you can take and use wherever you want to. I'm guessing at that. I don't know. I don't. The governor makes me chuckle sometimes, and like this savings bond thing just makes me chuckle. I think his heart's in the right place. I think he wants to do the right thing. I don't want to criticize his intent. I just think sometimes he gets so muddled up with some things, and then he's switched to a gift card, but it's going to be a patriotic gift card now. And yet in Ohio, they're already seeing the effects of the Vax-A-Million lottery drawings. People say, wait, I got a shot at $1 million. I'm going to get my vaccine. So I almost feel a little bit sorry for the governor, because I just don't think he's got his head quite wrapped around what it's going to take to get young people to get vaccinated.
Going back to the story about how suddenly we've got a 588 bad motto that no one understands, I think that's what happens sometimes is these ideas just come up in the moment, and he thinks he's had a pretty good idea, and I mean, I don't always know the backstory, but sometimes it's like, yeah, Governor, good idea. And so then you wind up with this savings bond rollout or beat 588 bad. And it's an idea that's happened in the moment that maybe hasn't gotten that much scrutiny or additional brainstorming.
Well, you mentioned another one, though, another big issue that has been pending in the state. The governor is eliminating the extended federal unemployment benefits, the extra $300 a week. he's going to cut that off. He has cut that off. And then he did one of these floating idea, but maybe we'll do an incentive or a return to work incentive. I think that was one of those sort of off the cuff things at a press conference he had. And then he's been trying to figure out whether he can make it work. And I guess now he's thinking maybe he can't do that. Is that right?
Unclear. He brought this up last Friday, and yeah, I think it is meant to try to cushion the blow for people who are re-entering the job market. I don't know if that's cushioning the blow, but as an incentive or reward for going back to work. And what he had described was up to $500, the state matching any employer who put up that kind of bonus for signing on. And then he said, well, we'll let you know the details on Monday. And then Monday came, and he said, well, we're still working on that. And then there was a delayed briefing. It was delayed until yesterday, and he had indicated that he was going to explain where that was going. And so yesterday he said, well, this actually may be a burden on our small employers. We're not sure a lot of them could afford a match. And so we probably are going to adjust this to just look at state government doing it. So it is, again, in flux. And you're right, he brought it up publicly without having a full series of answers on it or how it might work or who would be involved. And now it's been, 3 days of trying to iron out 3 days in public, but more than that, a week now behind the scenes, trying to figure out, could there be a match? Who can afford it? Who's going to do it? Where's the money coming from? So stay tuned. Stay on the edge of your seat for how this is going to work.
Stay tuned. We'll find out what happens next. Has there been at the press conferences any questions of the governor about, since he's eliminating the extended unemployment benefits, along with what I think is 20 other governors or around 20 across the country? We've talked about it a lot on this show. We've had Sean O'Leary on. We've had John Deskins on, talking about whether or not these federal unemployment extended benefits are keeping people from going back to work. I think the consensus, frankly, of what I've been hearing is there is no evidence of that. Let's wait and see. But nonetheless, that's the idea is people aren't working because they're getting too good a deal from the federal government. So he cut it off. Has there been any talk, though, about what the economic impact to the state will be when these people lose their unemployment benefits?
Kabler has brought that up a time or two in the briefings, and the governor's response to that has been that steady work and wages are good for the state too. So he essentially has said it's an equal trade-off that yes, maybe you're sacrificing the federal benefits, but someone going back to work and paying income tax and having the money for sales taxes, to his mind, balances that out. But I would agree that when the governor states his reasons for cutting this off, it seems to be a hunch, a general feeling, a belief, but never any particular numbers to say, we've got this many jobs and they are in these fields, and we've got this many workers who are sidelined. Generally that there are a lot of jobs out there.
Yeah, I think it's predicated upon, and I'm not picking the governor by himself, a lot of these other governors as well. It's predicated on the belief that people are just lazy and wait until they can get off the dole. And I have a more optimistic opinion of the people of this state and others that, given the opportunity that makes sense, they would go back to work. But I'm operating under my gut feeling, just as the governor is as well. I want to get one other issue in here, and it's probably longer than we have time for, but we have not talked since the Rita Mays sentencing. Rita Mays, of course, was sentenced to multiple life terms for the killings of the veterans at the Veterans Hospital. But since then, Brad, a lot of questions are still hanging out about how in the world did this happen. We know who did it. I mean, she admits she did it. We don't know why she did it, by the way, which someday will be fascinating to find out. But there are still a lot of lingering questions about how could it happen? How could she have been allowed to do this?
Yeah, and So you think to yourself, in fairness, would any of us know if we had a serial killer in our midst? But I mean, frankly, it boggles the mind. It's not where my mind would go immediately. But this OIG report makes it clear that there were several things that could have happened to, if not catch her right away, at least have saved some lives. One of them was that she had been a corrections officer at the North Central Regional Jail, and there was at least one public allegation. Don't know what happened. Maybe there were others behind the scenes. I don't know, but there was at least one lawsuit involving her and other officers, and an inmate accused them of abuse. That didn't go very far in court because there was a burden of proof that the inmate couldn't meet. But the hiring process, I think, is a very different burden of proof, and the OIG indicates that at least that should have sent up some red flags, and her previous employers should have been asked about her behavior in that job. And then the issue of, people's medical conditions, the trends, people with unexplained blood sugar crashes who were not diabetic, were not supposed to be receiving insulin, who were there for other reasons, some cases dementia, and should not have been, had every expectation of recovering and getting out of the hospital, suddenly had fatal blood sugar crashes. And there were, at one point, three deaths in April of 2018 in 3 days. So why wouldn't the hospital catch some of those trends? Even after that 3-day incident, it was another 6 weeks and 2 more deaths until somebody said, we have a problem on our hands. So all of that were instances where the hospital and its leadership appeared to drop the ball, and the OIG boiled it down to not having a culture that was patient-focused, meaning that every system, every decision at the hospital should be meant to focus on patient health. Instead, they dropped the ball.
I think the Veterans Secretary was met with some of our local officials, Manchin and McKinley, and I think Capito, and offered what? Are there going to be changes made, or reviews being made, or what's the plan going forward?
He is new. He's a Biden administration guy, and also there is a deputy secretary coming up, and Manchin really pressed the deputy secretary this week during his hearing, and that's the moment when you get the greatest leverage during a job interview. Can you do me a favor? Yes, if you'll give me this job, I will help you. But in this instance, Manchin is very interested in what has happened to the leadership at the VA hospital in Clarksburg, and whether they just got shuffled within the agency to other jobs, and can they be held accountable. So that's one way, is making clear that if you drop the ball, if you have systems in place at your facility where patients and their family trust you, that you can't just go sideways within the organization and have your career be safe. And so that's where Manchin is going with it. Another thing that's happening is Congressman McKinley and others are pursuing legislation, and it passed actually in the House of Representatives just this week, very quickly after the findings of the OIG, but legislation that would encourage more use of cameras in common areas of hospitals. So, if there had been more cameras for security and for patient safety in those common areas, maybe it would catch someone like Rita Mays, who was going to medicine carts and a medicine closet and getting insulin that she was not supposed to have and not supposed to be administering. How often does it happen? You don't know, but there could be other instances at other VA hospitals of nefarious behavior or even careless behavior that could be caught on camera.
Well, a lot of questions to be answered. One last question for you on a slightly different subject. The masks are off. The CDC says we can, if we're vaccinated, we can all get together and party, and kids are going back to school, and I mean, people are going back to work. It looks like we're heading back to normal. is the governor still holding his press conferences behind his mask or behind his, is he still doing these things behind, without letting you all come in and say hello?
He is, and we get these invitations and they say online only, please register. So one thing that made this kind of silly is, yes, everything has been loosened in terms of masks. I'm vaccinated. I assume that the rest of the press corps is too. The governor was very visibly vaccinated. But last Friday, the entire briefing shut down because the Capitol lost its internet. That's a very West Virginia thing. The internet crashed at the entire state capitol. So
there's symbolism there. I won't go into it, but there's symbolism there.
Yeah, well, they had to cancel the rest of the briefing. They got through maybe 15 minutes of it, and then we got a note saying, well, we're going to have to cancel the rest of it. But if it were in person, could have gone on, could have asked additional questions, shed light on some things. No is the answer to open briefings. It was posed to me
really, the idea that this was done or is being done, maybe it was originally, but the idea that this is being done, that he's being, for safety's sake, to prevent COVID spread and so on, that's really, that's all faded away. The truth of the matter is he just wants to be able to control the venue. I can say that. I don't know if you want to say that, but I think that's as clear as a bell.
Well, it was posed to me that space, which is the governor's conference room, has been filled up with live streaming equipment, video cameras, I think a couple angles, a big TV, a big sort of, I don't know what it is, like a soundboard, like a production zone. And so I'm not sure they can now go back and have a crowd in there. I don't know where that stands, but really the entire place has been turned into a video production studio. And if you've got one, then the pressure is to use it, I guess.
I guess so. All right, Brad, good catching up. A couple of stories I want to make sure we had a chance to talk about. I hope you get your breakfast burritos. Enjoy them.
Oh, man, me too.
And we'll probably talk again next week sometime. Have a good weekend. Thanks a lot for your help today.
Thanks, Howard.
Brad McElhenney from Metro News. Wanted to catch up on a couple of these stories here on the Watchdog Morning Show. It's 8:35, 25 till the hour. Yesterday we talked about cicadas with Brian Lovett from WVU. And the cicadas are rising in the eastern panhandle and other parts of the state. Not here this year, not in the northern panhandle. But there's a lot of talk about the cicadas, the 17-year locusts, but they're not locusts. The Ohio County Library has got some neat classes and even a contest kind of revolving around the cicadas. We'll talk to Sean Duffy about that coming up next here on the Watchdog Morning Show. It's 8:36, 24 till the hour. We're looking at still 66 degrees at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport, and it's going to be a great day today.
The WTRF Channel 7 News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Now it's time.
Biff, if you want to hold some, I'll take a second break if I need to with Sean. Okay, it's up to you. Whatever you think works. I wasn't listening. Old one? Okay. Let me know when or if Sean is there. All right, thank you.
304-242-2900 or visit us at kellnerlaw.com.
We'd like to help.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts. Catch Biff Leonard on the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe. Weekday morning, 7 to 10 a.m. Only on the Watchdog. Live and local talk radio. Just the way you like it.
You know, there's variety shows, and then there's, well, my variety show. I'm Bill DeFabio, and I bring you the best variety talk in the Ohio Valley, quite possibly the world. Join me from noon till 2 to talk sports, nostalgia, and hear from some of the legends of the game. You won't believe who I have on next. The Bill DeFabio Variety Show, noon till 2 on the Watchdog.
If you miss a part of the show or want to listen again, you can find conversations, interviews, and rants on our podcasts at Apple Podcasts or on WatchdogNetwork.com. This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
The first thing I met was a fly with a buzz and the sky with no clouds. The heat was hot and the ground was dry, but the air was full of sound. I've been through the desert on a horse with no name.
67 degrees at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. 65 here at the home studios in Elm Grove. 64 at the Robinson Auto Group Studios, downtown Wheeling, in the heart of the Ohio Valley. Beautiful sunshine and blue skies outside. Going to be that way all day long today. It is going to be a real hot one again. 86, the predicted high for the day today. We hit a high of 85 yesterday, so even warmer than yesterday. And that heat stays with us really through the next 7-day period. So be prepared to be warm. Be warm. If you can have ice cream like I had yesterday, make sure you don't eat it in the car and it melts in your hand. So just, well, not in your hand. I didn't hold it in my hand. I had a cone in my hand, but it melted all over my hand. 8:46, 14 to the hour. Sean O'Leary is here with Sean O'Leary. Got too many Seans. Okay. Too many Seans, Biffy.
Yeah. How about Sean Duffy?
Can we call it Sean Duffy? I think that might be better. Sean Duffy is here with us from the Ohio County Public Library. Good morning, Sean.
Good morning, Howard. How are you?
I am well. I'm just so happy that we are not here in the Ohio Valley going to have to hear the buzzing of any cicadas for a few more years. But it is occurring elsewhere around the state, over in the Eastern Panhandle and in the Eastern Seaboard. I call it the Great Eastern Brood is here. And so the Ohio County Library, like always, trying to tap into things that are going on. You guys are going to spend some time on cicadas, right?
Yeah, we have a new People's University series coming up. The first 2 classes will deal with the Brood 10 cicadas, which actually, is, as far as I know, because of the newspaper reports, we do have a small colony here of Brood 10. Maybe your expert said something else yesterday.
Here in this area, really? I didn't know that. Okay, he didn't mention that, but I suppose it's possible. Okay.
I have
so
a
we
map
might actually
and I
see
have
we might actually see some coming up. Oh, geez.
Just a few.
Okay.
Not like in the Eastern Panhandle.
Are you a cicada fan?
Yeah, I am. You know, they get a little loud at times, but they're cool. They're weird.
Okay, I'm glad you said a little weird, because I don't know about cool. Weird, maybe. Yeah, okay.
Weirdish cool. So on the 27th, that's next Thursday at 6:30, that'll be the first class. And Gene Kritsky, I don't know if you've heard of him, but he's like the cicada guy. And he'll be our instructor for the first 2 classes.
Okay, and he's got a couple of books out that people can maybe pick up and read, or he'll talk about them while he's there too, right?
Yeah, he's got a brand new one out just about Brood 10, periodical cicadas that just came out. It's on Amazon. I think it's called Periodical Cicadas Brood 10 by Gene Kritsky.
Yeah.
And he has a website called Cicada Mania, and he's a pretty interesting guy. All of our instructors are, we're able to do this all over the country with to get really great entomology professors because we're doing it as a live stream still. So they don't have to come to Wheeling, but they come to Wheeling virtually.
You've had to do, obviously, adapt Lunch with Books in general, People's University as well, to the live stream concept. Has that worked out? I mean, in general, has that worked out?
Like I said, the one side benefit that we really didn't think of at first was, now we can have people, like we've had live programs from the UK, from Australia, from Finland. So in that sense, we've gotten some really good guests that we normally would not be able to get. But, obviously it's not ideal, but we've done pretty well with it. We use StreamYard, which lets us stream onto Facebook and YouTube at the same time. We've had pretty good attendance.
I know a lot of people really loved Lunch with Books in particular because it was just their Tuesday fellowship, if you will. They loved to get together, see some old friends, learn some things. I'm wondering if when, and you're not, the library is open, right? By the way, the library, you can still, you can't go into the library, correct?
We are open, yes.
I'm wondering
the hours are a little different.
Yeah, and you still have to wear masks, I think, inside and so on. But I wonder when the Lunch with Books returns to, maybe live performances. I suppose you could you could put the big screen up there and still bring in out of town guests or even out of country guests, but the audience could all be there in the library, right? I mean, kind of combine the two worlds.
In the past we've done those types of programs for guests who couldn't make it in. So and we're much better at it now, and so there'll probably be some hybrid programs where people are here and can watch online. Because some of them, I've had to book, we didn't know what was going to happen, and so I'm into July. But we're looking probably at fall when school starts, we'll be doing the same thing here live, in person.
So
we might have some hybrid.
The first two sessions of People's University are going to be cicadas, and then you're going to do some other bugs as well?
Yeah, we're going to do the 6 major insect orders. So you have bees and ants, you have grasshoppers, flies and mosquitoes, beetles, and then we have a program on cultural entomology, which is the interaction of humans and bugs throughout history, which is our wrap-up program on July 15th. With a guy who wrote the Kaufman Field book on insects of North America, so he's a pretty knowledgeable guy. And we'll be giving away some of those books, Kritsky's book and the Kaufman Guide, and among others. And just some small door prizes for asking questions if you tune in. So, but we also have a big sort of prize for a promotion we're doing.
Yeah, you got a little contest going on too, right?
Yeah, we had a set of cicada wings made that are 8 feet wide. And if you've ever been to the Purple Fiddle in Davis or Thomas, I forget which little town it's in, but they have a pair of wings on the wall, and people take a picture with them. It looks like you have angel wings. Well, we have cicada wings. You come to the library, you take your picture, and you post it, and you put in hashtag BroodPU, BROODPU, and you'll be entered into the contest, and you can win prizes weekly, but also the big prize is a work of art, cicada themed by Bob Villamagna, the local artist who does sort of mixed media tin. It's going to be cool. And, people are probably shy about doing this, but if you come see the wings or you go online and look at, they're pretty cool, and we thought it'd be a fun promotion for people.
I see, I'm looking at
So get in here and get your picture.
I'm looking at pictures of it right now. They're kind of cool. But so we're calling Bobby Cicada now. Is that right?
Bobby Cicada named himself that, so we're going with it. Yeah.
I like that. You know what? I'm looking at this picture of Villamaga with the wing. The wings fit him perfectly.
They do, yeah. He's the right size for it. But we can, if you have a kid who wants to do it, we'll put him on a stool, and the red eyes will loom. And it's pretty neat.
Yeah, that's
I have
kind
to
of
do
cool.
my
So,
picture.
yeah, I think that's kind of. Have you had your picture taken yet?
Probably going to happen today. I guess I have to, bite the bullet and let myself be humiliated a little bit, but it's for a good cause.
So anybody can come in and get the picture taken at the library, following the proper protocols and so on. In the beginning.
Yes.
In the beginning, the library was doing, I think, like appointments, but you can just go in now, right?
Yeah, you can come in during regular. I think we're open till I say I think because I'm not here that late, but I think we're open till 6 right now during the week. And yeah, you don't need an appointment. You can come in anytime and come on down. We're open.
And is everything open? I mean, you can the periodicals and the obviously the books. I mean, so you can. The library is operating at full function, except you need to wear a mask when you go in there, right?
Right, and we're not doing the in-person programs yet, but the meeting rooms are. If you call the reference desk, you can book a meeting room with the distancing rules. So there are certain limitations on the number of people you can have in a given room, but other than that, it's pretty much full go.
That sounds cool. I'm glad to hear that. Library is such an important part of our community, and to see it not being able to serve its full functions, especially the live programs. People have come to really appreciate those live programs. I've told you this before. You do a great job in putting together some really interesting stuff for Lunch with Books and the other programs, and I think people have really come to appreciate that.
Oh, yeah, they do, and I hear about it all the time, and you can tell by the attendance numbers. People love it, and we're going to get back on our feet here very, very soon, and right now, like I said, we're going to do live stream until we can do a hybrid version, and then we'll be back. So stay tuned.
All right. Well, the People's University starts next week. The cicada, the first two are cicadas. That's next week. Is that right?
Yes. Thursday evenings at 6:30 through July 15th, starting on May 27th.
Now, we call it People's University. It's not like there's no tests. There's no grading. It's like you don't have to worry about, going in and being embarrassed that you didn't pass, right?
That's right. It's just sort of like Lunch with Books in the evening, only a little more scholarly, let's say. But we've had kids attend our science programs, and they love it. So it's not, you're not going to be tested, no.
Okay.
But we do enjoy if you ask questions. The professors like to answer questions, so we like participation.
All right. More information at the Ohio County Library's website, of course, and if you and is People's University. So if you want to watch it, it's on the library's Facebook page. Also you have a YouTube channel, right, as well.
That's correct. Go to the People's University YouTube channel or the People's University Facebook page. And I usually, if you want to get on our email list, I send out the link so you can just click and watch.
Yeah, it's a good way to, especially you can do it from home. You just want to spend a little time doing something some evening or some afternoon on a Tuesday or whatever. Just pop on from home and watch and learn. So it sounds good. And also, don't forget to enter the contest so you can win the cicada art as well. All right, Sean, I appreciate this. I thought we had spent some time yesterday talking about the cicadas. I thought this would be a good time to mention that we've got this going on here at the library. But now you got me. I'm going to check in with Brian Lovett, the guy I had yesterday, and see if there are going to be some cicadas coming up here in the Panhandle or not. That's interesting. So you think that
Let me know what he says.
I will. So you think there might be some Brood 10 popping up in this area too?
We have evidence to that effect, which I will share next Thursday. Yeah.
Okay.
Including
Matt.
Matt.
Very good. Okay. Sounds good. Hey, Sean, I appreciate your time this morning. Thanks very much. Have a successful People's University and keep on doing some good stuff out there.
Howard, thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Sean Duffy from the Ohio County Public Library. Starting next week, People's University, I think it's 6 classes. First 2 are going to be on cicadas. It's really, as Sean said, a lot of people miss the actual getting into the library and going to Lunch with Books. And I get that. And I've been there a few times, both as a speaker and also as a in the audience. And people love that get together on Tuesdays and they talk and, listen to the lectures and so on. But what really is neat about forcing us to use these live streams is you can bring in people from afar, from all around the country and literally from all around the world. If you listen to me promote these things from time to time, we talk about, as he said, people from Australia and from Scotland and England and other places. They can actually be there via the live stream as a guest. So that's kind of cool. And yes, the library is open. So if you want to go in and enjoy the library, you can do that. They're still requiring masks, but other than that, just head on down to the local library. There is nothing like your local library. I am a library lover and have been for forever and ever. Amen. All right, next hour, I think we're going to do some local news review with John McCabe from the local newspaper. Now, John is at an event with his family this morning, but he said if he had a chance when it was over, he would give us his usual call. We'll have the Friday roundtable. If not, I have some other things I want to get into, including some talk about the Capitol Insurrection Commission that is moving its way through. First of all, it was approved by the House and now goes to the Senate. And also, Capitol security. Why in the world would folks vote against improving Capitol security? We'll talk about all of this coming up next hour on the Watchdog Morning Show. It's 67 degrees at 9 o'clock.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
ABC News.
All right. I have no idea about McCabe. I don't think he'll be on early, but maybe he'll call at some point, Biffy. So I'll just wait and you let me know if he's there, and if not, I'll do other stuff. All right, because he said I told you, he said it's whatever he's at. It's supposed to end at 9, but he doubted if it would end at 9. He imagines he'll be later than that. So if he can, he said he'd call. That's the best I can tell you. But we'll make it work. One way or the other, we'll make it work.